There were a lot of high hopes for 2020, but a global pandemic, racial unrest, tense American election, and catastrophic climate emergencies created a narrative around the start of a new decade that hasn't quite lived up to its initial hype. In times like these, marketing a product or message must be adjusted in consideration of the needs, the well-being, and buying habits of consumers. And as we've seen, many players have been able to make a profound mark by doing so. Let's take a look at some of the most memorable moments of 2020 and its monumental impact on the marketing world.
On this Sunday night, cracking down to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
It was March 11th when the NBA announced its suspended season, and overnight, it felt like the severity of COVID-19 really sunk in. Marketing campaigns were canceled, put on hold, or forced to pivot quickly, and when they did, it was vital that compassion, community, and safety remained at the forefront of their messaging. A global pandemic normalized working from home, increased online spending, and digital storefronts, while encouraging brands, influencers, and businesses to think creatively about how they position themselves as a source of value and comfort.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
1 week after the murder of George Floyd sent shockwaves across the internet, Atlantic Records' marketing team initiated #TheShowMustBePaused, which later morphed into the global social movement, #BlackoutTuesday. The social protest saw over 28 million social media accounts participate in solidarity against police brutality and systemic racism in America with a simple black square on social feeds. This marks the beginning of a new wave of social media activism and the growing need for corporate social responsibility that consumers are holding brands accountable for. One thing brands should take away is that real support comes in the form of action, not hollow statements. And Nike, Disney, Netflix, and Peloton, who donated $500,000 to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, were just some of the notable brands applauded for stepping up and putting their money where their mouths are. While the ways we support marginalized groups are far more complex than handing out shiny checks and donations, doing and saying something is much more important to the consumer than remaining business as usual. This leads us to our last call-out, the desire for ad transparency across the board. According to BizJournal.com, millennials are the highest spending generation of 2020, and with their younger counterparts, holding brands to a higher moral and ethical standard than we've seen before. Over 1,000 companies were positively publicized for boycotting and withholding ad spend on Facebook this summer in protest of the platform's mishandling of misinformation and hate speech. Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and Verizon were just some of the brands that participated in #StopHateForProfit. Although the movement picked up steam on social media, Facebook has yet to produce action change. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that the responsibility for digital marketers to do better is greater than ever because we're the gatekeepers of representation, social feeds, and messaging for some of the most influential brands in the world. What we say, how we say it, who says it, and how we show support to social causes matter and has the power to influence the world around us. To learn more about the moments that shaped 2020, visit our website to download our second annual publication of the yearbook.